Leeds players are making their entry here. Crusaders in that huddle, which they were in before kick-off, of course, and it certainly inspired a terrific start to the first half of the Welsh side. They'll be hoping for something similar at the start of this second, but full marks to Leeds. Having gone 10-0 down, having lost two of their real shiny stars in the form of Brent Webb and Danny Maguire, have still managed to show the pedigree and the character and the class to pull this one round. But is there now a response in turn from the Crusaders? This is not the script we expected. We thought that Leeds at this point would be in a comfortable lead and that maybe we'd see a response in the second half from Crusaders, because that's the kind of team they've been this year. Well, if they do put on a second half as well as they have been playing at times this campaign, this is going to be quite a cup tie. It already is quite a cup tie.
Yeah, we've had a great first 40, haven't we, Dave? And I'm fully expecting that response from the Crusaders. I thought Iestyn Harris in the dressing sheds did look excited, and he was exuding enthusiasm, and that needs to be shown now by the men in red.
Pitts with the drive. Here's Luke Burgess. Little brother Sam, of course, is doing it good in Australia at the moment with Souths. Here's Rob Burrow! He's turning into a game winner. Could he turn into another try provider here, Badeiras? But well back. Quickly came Stuart Reardon to chop it away.
Yeah, he's having some game, isn't he, Rob Burrow? He really is putting a marker down. And again, it was a lovely little break there. He straightened the play up, then he went away from the Crusaders defenders. The decision then was to kick. Whether Danny Badeiras was in front of the kicker at that point, we'll never know, because Stuart Reardon diffused the problem and kicked it dead. But once again, that's demonstrated the danger of Rob Burrow's big man, small man, very quick man, against a rather larger Ben Flower, who is stood up in the defensive line.
Here's Burgess. Kirk is running into Samet again. Defending right down the middle. Jared Samet hanging on with the help of a couple of his colleagues. McShane at dummy half. Here's Burrow. They're there in numbers again. Smith with a miss-out pass. And a lovely try for Ryan Hall. Senior was the man who went on the dummy run, never the intended target. Instead it was Hall. The Crusaders' defence was absolutely bamboozled.
Well, that was a beautiful try, and that was straight off the training field. You saw in that repeat set that Rob Burrow earned them with that break. From the central field position, he's got inside-outside option. The back man was the decision that time. And Gareth Thomas came in on the centre. And they missed the centre out, picked the wingman up. Look, it picks out the back man that time, Rob Burrow, and it's a lovely long pass. Brent Webb-esque, that was, from Smith to Hall, straight across the face of Carl Ablett, and that's a super try. Straight off the training paddock. That shape down that left-hand side was exemplary.
It's not exactly like putting a naive understudy in at fullback today, is it, with Brent Webb missing and suddenly Lee Smith taking his place, because he has been very familiar with that position over the years, hasn't he, Lee Smith? I think he played there in the grand final when he won the man of the match, didn't he?
It's long been argued that that is Lee Smith's best position, Dave.
Sinfield settling himself here with a 100% goal-kicking record so far today, but this is obviously a fairly difficult attempt. Kicking it round the corner. It's an unnatural angle, but it's a good angle. 4 out of 4, and having been 10-0 down, Leeds now find themselves with a 24 points to 10 lead, and the South Stand is suddenly bathed in sunshine and smiles.
Yeah, and that was a perfect start to the second half for the Rhinos. The Crusaders started the first half superbly well, but this time it's obviously the Rhinos that have come out of the changing rooms with a certain focus and intent on the next round of the Challenge Cup.
Jared Samet about to take this kick off. Before he does, here's Tanya Arnold with news.
Well, the half-time team, Dirks, Leeds has gone to script. They were told to keep playing as they had in the second bit of that first half, play the game in the Crusaders' half and use their pace to get it out wide and stretch them, which is exactly what they did for that try. As for Crusaders, they've been told to try and nullify the momentum of Leeds, because if they get on a roll, it's going to be difficult. They were told they'd had a good opening to the game, but they got scrappy and they must complete their sets.
With McShane on the field and Vidaris out there as well. They've got two real exponents of dummy half play to keep that momentum going. It's McShane who's taking the lead role in that position at the moment. Here's Burrow, Clarkson. He had a great story last year, didn't he? Chris Clarkson started the year as a part-time bricklayer and ended up playing at Wembley itself for Leeds. Here's McShane. This is Burrow. Sinfield.
10, Danny.
He's a good player, Kevin Sinfield, isn't he? He read that perfectly, split the winger and the fullback, and then look there, he's kicked the ball and he's been in the chase as well to make the tackle. That really is quality play from Kevin Sinfield.
By Elliot Keir. So the Crusaders just looking to get a bit of momentum downfield here if they can. Important that they get through a set. Richard Moore driving it in. Shivkovsky.
Well, he certainly worked hard. He's had a very good first half and 4 minutes or whatever as Clinton Shivkovsky.
There's Witt with the kick. It's not a bad one because it's making Hall do a bit of work, but he's caught it very well. Despite a bit of a swirl, he saw the gap, decided to run hard at it, but it was closed very quickly.
Yeah, Peter Lupton did a good job there, didn't he? Oh, for half a second, there looked to be a gap, then Lupton really did put the afterburners on to close that gap and make a good left shoulder tackle.
Peter Lupton, Cumbrian by birth, but hoping to be Welsh at the end of this year, having lived in that country long enough to represent Wales. Here's Vidaris. Off he goes, looking to rip holes in the defence. Kicked on by Smith, clever play by him. Skipping onwards.
That's great skill. Magnificent skill there, just to toe poke the ball and pick it up without breaking stride. We've got Lulai and Peacock back out there now, so they really have brought the heavy artillery out.
Across to Sinfield. Sinfield with a kick to the corner. Senior couldn't catch.
Hand over. 10 in.
Well, Elliot Keir did pretty well there, you know, because it was a dink of a kick, and it looked as if Keir Senior was catching that ball, but as soon as his feet hit the ground, lovely little kick there, but as soon as Senior's feet hit the ground, bang, the winger comes in and tackles him and forces the error. That's pretty good defensive play.
No relation, by the way, is he, Elliot Keir?
No.
He's Welsh, isn't he?
2, move!
Here's
Hold.
Samet at dummy half.
Third, move!
This is slow here now. So Leeds are back and ready by the time Crusaders get up to play, and Cahill.
4, move! Hold. Go.
Looking for holes in a Leeds defence that is not willing to show anything at the moment.
Go.
Here comes the 6th.
Clear.
Witt
Well done.
with a kick. Over the head of Hall, it's a good kick, but it's going to roll out of play for a tap back on the 20.
Yes.
Tackles made there, Crusaders 86, Leeds 69.
Yeah, and there's been very few missed. But I don't think there have been actual misses where Leeds have had the line breaks. It's been through hitting gaps with great pace.
Swivel and a turn by Chris Clarkson.
2, move!
Here's Peacock leading that drive forward again.
Third, move! Hold. Go.
McShane. Burrow. Fitz will take the tackle.
4, move!
Kylie Lulai with a big drive forward again, and hands grasping at him as he tries to force his way through, and arms wrapped around him, but he still refuses to succumb eventually. He has to play the ball. This is Sinfield on the halfway line with a kick. Keir and Shivkovsky together. It's Keir who wants it. I've been impressed with him today.
Yeah, he's played really well, Dave, but I've been impressed with Leeds, how they've shown great composure in adversity, and it's been Rob Burrow and Kevin Sinfield, and a lot of two-pass kicks, you know, which has brought the winger up and just dabbed it behind them to get field position. But it's imperative now that the Crusaders get some good field position and get the next score, Dave.
But young Keir has been playing in the Championship. It's his first Super League game of the season, isn't it?
Move!
First for a while, anyway. But he's slotted right in. Witt, Shivkovsky. Holding the ball in one hand again and gets it away. Mellors. Oh, he runs into Peacock. But the brick wall this time can't keep hold, but there's plenty more to swarm around.
Yeah, he's a big man, Vince Mellors, but Jamie Peacock was very determined to come back, but it looks like Chris Clarkson's is down in the background as well.
Hanbury with a kick. That's an arcing, difficult kick here, but it's diffused in the in goal. Caught on the full, so that means it's a tap back on the 20 for Leeds. And we're going to get a hold up here while Chris Clarkson has a little bit of treatment.
Well, that will really put a stress on the Rhinos if they're down to 14 men out of 17. They'll be able to have the full complement of 13 out there, but there'll just be a one-man rotation if that's the case. And he's struggling. I think that's the point Brian McDermott is making to staff on the sideline. Just look at Shivkovsky here. The grip on that ball is superb.
This is where the ankle
and
went.
Then the ankle just goes underneath. And his ankle's just gone against the joint, hasn't it?
But Gareth Thomas, plenty of experience, of course, in rugby union and now rugby league. But it's the young man today, Elliot Keir, who really has caught the eye. Only playing today because Jordan Tansey is cup-tied. Jordan Tansey started at Hull and then on his wilderness weeks found himself playing for Dewsbury in a Challenge Cup tie, so he's not available. So Keir's come in as an emergency, and he's really caught the eye today.
He's done really well yet, and I spoke to Paul March about him, and he's been over at Hunslet, and he's been absolutely delighted about him. He says he's a player that threatens defences every time he carries the ball, and that's been shown today against a very good Leeds Rhinos team.
And a young Welshman as well. But another young man who's not having the best of times at the moment, Chris Clarkson.
Yeah. It's sad because he's played really well. He's been out there the full game as Jay Pitt has, and he's interchanged the centre with Delaney.
It's like a casualty ward at the moment. Brent Webb, Danny Maguire started the game. They've gone off injured.
Chris Clarkson probably joining them.
Ryan Bailey, Jamie Jones-Buchanan didn't make it on the pitch today. Callum Watkins, one of the three quarters, has been showing great promise, and alongside him Ben Jones-Bishop, so two players there who are out injured at the moment. And Nurse Tanya's down on the sidelines.
Yeah, Gareth Thomas has had the boxers treatment, they've described it as. They patched him up, put some Vaseline on the cut, but he's going to need stitches probably afterwards, and looks like he might have a bit of a shiner as well after the match.
That'll be one to show off in the BBC studios. Don't forget he's been joining us after this game for a chat. Well, this is where Gareth Thomas took the bang, and we will be showing you his first tackle ever in rugby league later, which was something similar that left him unconscious against the Catalans.
Yeah, he'd been on the waltzers, hadn't he, that day, with the jellied legs after that first carry.
There's a sigh of awe, an ironic awe from the south stand there as Gareth Thomas's face was shown on the big screen here because of that shiner. But this, meantime, is obviously serious here for Chris Clarkson because they're taking a lot of time and a lot of care. It looked reasonably innocuous, didn't it?
It did, but it's Shivkovsky there. He tried to dance around him, and he really did extend to attempt to get it, Shivkovsky. Succeeded.
That was it. It was a knee on the calf, wasn't it?
Well, it's... whatever it is, Dave, it's pretty serious, and it's a shame because it's contributed greatly to this game as Chris Clarkson. But a disappointing end, and that's the third Rhinos players in the casualty ward from the starting 17. Webb, Maguire, and now Clarkson.
So only one fit player on the bench to interchange for the rest of this game, and there are still 30 minutes left to play here. So a 14-point gap. You know, as time goes on and Leeds' resources are drawn, Crusaders might sense there's a way back.
Well, if the Crusaders score next, Dave, I think they'll really fancy this opportunity.
Sinfield put down. That's Senior rather put down. Here's McShane at dummy half. Off he goes. Little probing run by him. He's lost it.
Yeah,
tried a little too much.
I think he was trying to milk a penalty there. He went at Frank Winterstein, who he felt wasn't squared at marker, but the ball came free, and I'm sure that Paul McShane, being the character is, he'll try to address that error now and put in a good defensive stint.
So a decent position. Flower. And it came through the Colts at the Crusaders. Witt. Cahill. Thomas. And a man on the outside, but he's wrapped up well enough. But look how strong he is here. Still searching for that line. Cahill a dummy half. Throwing it back to Witt. Here's Hanbury. It's Mellors. Looking for the step, but Leeds' defence sliding across in numbers.
Really well organised, that Leeds defence there. There was communicating, releasing from the inside and pushing up and taking space on that shift.
Here's White. Oh, a little bit of handwork, a little bit of trickery there. Trying to work his way through. Winterstein, and White to Keir! Elliot Keir scores! The young Welshman has his reward.
Well, that was down to the quick play of the ball, you know, Dave. A really quick play of the ball, left a Rhinos player on the ground. It gave them the best an opportunity with numbers, but here's the error from McShane. It went at Winterstein, who he felt wasn't square, but then it was played at there by Lloyd White, forced the error, recovered from it. Look at the quick play of the ball now, and this is where they're all at sea. Keith Senior comes in, makes the Ron Reed, takes the inside man, leaves Elliot Keir free. But I certainly don't. There'll be a question mark about the play of the ball, I'll tell you, whether he regained his feet to play the ball. It was such a fast play of the ball, that created the gap for Keir, but was it a legal play of the ball? Did he recover his feet after the tackle?
Game on. 24-14 as it stands if this kick goes over here from Shivkovsky. It's 24-16. They would still have to score twice. Whether this goes over or not, Crusaders still have to score twice. But they've been given a real glimmer of hope here. The South Stand are doing their best to try and put him off. And they've succeeded because he's pulled it wide.
Well, he's normally very, very reliable, is Shivkovsky. But here's the play of the ball, and it's Flower. Does he regain his feet? Well, he could claim interference from the Rhinos player, and he certainly attempted to play the ball with his foot, but that, to me, is not a legal play of the ball. But they certainly have profited with that pass from Winterstein to Keir, and the try, and they're really back in the game now, the Crusaders.
Well, there's a little extra zip in their stride here. 53 minutes played, very nearly. 24-14. Tanya.
Release!
He's got a serious injury to his lower leg, Chris Clarkson. They've strapped the two legs together, and they have got paramedics on standby if they need to take him to hospital, so it sounds like a serious one.
That's a real blow. We've had a lot of injuries this season, haven't we?
Move! Hold!
Tough old game, Dave. A tough old game. 40-20.
Kick and a chase. Witt puts it downfield. It's a terrific kick. It is a 40-20 by a distance. It means that Crusaders now get head and feet at this scrum, and from them being in defence, they put themselves right on attack here.
That's a reward for magnificent skill, that. It was early in the tackle count, and he kicked the ball from within his own 40-metre zone. That's from the goal line to the 40 metres marked out on your screen. And it bounced within 20 metres of the Rhinos line over the sideline, and that means a scrum is formed. The scrum is formed with the Crusaders' head and feet. So the reward for that excellent piece of skill from Michael Witt is the possession in a great field position.
Apologies to rugby league fans who just feel like they've just been shown how to suck eggs, but we do have our viewers here who don't know the rugby league rules, so
Move!
keeping them in mind. Here's White from dummy half. Hanbury throws it out. Witt gets it on again. Shivkovsky's in the line, just behind Thomas.
Well, did Carl Hall play at the ball? Gareth Thomas is claiming it. Pass there from Shivkovsky. He's played at it, but did he touch it? Up he comes. Woof, woof. Well, there's one for Mr. Ganson.
Well, it's the video referee who's been asked to make a judgment here.
Yeah, he's going to his friend. Touch judge.
Leeds ball.
Yeah, Leeds ball. Right decision in the end. The video referee is allowed to take part in a decision-making process when the ball goes out of play, as it did here, and it just makes sure that. Oh, did he get a little finger to that?
No, I think he missed that one. But he certainly went and played at it, and I think that's what put the receiving Gareth Thomas off. But it's let Leeds off the hook, because a try then really would have put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Here's Peacock, looking to inspire again. Robbie Hunter-Paul has news. Robbie?
Well, if I was a Leeds Rhino supporter, player, or even part of the coaching staff, I'd be very nervous right now. And the reason why I say that is because they've only got one reserve on the reserves bench now, only one player they can interchange with their forward, and they're playing against a team that have the second best completion rate in all of the Super League. So that means their forwards are going to have to do a lot of defence.
Jamie Peacock very nearly getting the arm away. Burrow with a kick, he's sending it, spinning it downfield.
The kicking game's been very good, hasn't it, from the Rhinos? There's been Kevin Sinfield and Rob Burrow in charge of it. And what I like about it is they've kicked really well, but then they follow their own kicks up as well, leading the defensive chase.
Move!
Kick.
Third! Move!
Leeds looking to do a manful job here. The offload was a bit risky, but it's come off, and Moore will drive it back in again.
Foul! Move!
But only a couple of tackles left in this set here. Thomas talks so enthusiastically about his experience in rugby league. Gareth Thomas, doesn't he? Really has loved the switch. The big kick downfield, and that's a decent kick if it holds up, but it just bounces away. Tap back on the 20.
Yeah, he won't be as pleased his last effort, Michael Witt. That was a superb 40-20, and he was just going for territory then. But interesting there to see that the tap had to be held up while all the Leeds Rhinos players got back on side. So there are some tired bodies out there in the blue and gold of the Leeds team.
Don't forget, by the way, big match tomorrow as well. Halifax from the Championship against the Bradford Bulls, and the Shea will be bouncing tomorrow. Make sure you join us for that on BBC 2 tomorrow afternoon. Here, Leeds looking to plot a way through, but finding life difficult against the Crusaders. Hall, nice little interchange with Luluan. It was a bit of a grapple there, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's giving it
contact with the head, mate.
Contact with the head, as well explained by Steve Ganson. And I think Ryan Hall felt in agreement with the referee there. It was big Frankie Winterstein.
Leeds could do with a nerve settler here.
Hold.
Luluai.
One. Move. Hold. Hold.
Here's McShane. Got numbers down this blind side, and Sinfield looking to run into a little pocket there, but Winterstein with the tackle.
Come on.
Sinfield picks up and plays, and here comes Peacock. Look at the offload, but this time it's to ground. Kick downfield. The chase is on. Rob Burrow, you'd fancy, would win this. And does. Oh, Cahill's got to go. Cahill has got to go.
Well, you just can't do that.
He's off.
Well, that's just a rush of blood there. I cannot understand what was going through Cahill's mind.
Well, the only excuse was that it was a delayed attempt to kick the ball, but it was delayed by about 10 seconds.
Burrow had the ball in his arms, though. He picks the ball up superbly, Rod Burrow, and then gets a left footer for his troubles. That was a great recovery from Burrow, but I cannot understand what was going through Cahill's mind and I believe that may well have killed off any chance the Crusaders had of getting this game.
So they're down to 12. Leeds are still at 13. Only one man on the bench for Leeds, but it's just more than even itself out in terms of personnel running out of energy and all that kind of stuff in the last. How long have we got to play? 20 minutes or so. McShane, Sinfield, Kirk, Smith.
Good defence that though from the Crusaders, and it had to be.
Kirk's down now. Kirk's on his haunches. Badeiras from dummy half. Here's Sinfield. Little stepping, siding run from him. Kirk's still feeling the after effects of that early tackle. Leeds, meantime, are on the brink here. Burrow, Peacock. Witt hangs on. Crusaders are hanging on. Leeds threatening. Oh, Smith. It was his
Tap
last
20.
touch.
Yeah, deft little kick there from McShane. Almost paid off for Lee Smith. That would have been game, set, match, I believe. Lovely little kick here from McShane, just dabs it through from dummy half. Played it by the Crusaders player, but it was backwards, and Lee Smith had that half opportunity to just put the game to bed.
Move! Hold! Go.
Here's White at dummy half.
Third! Go.
Lots of other games taking place this weekend, of course, in the cup. There aren't many. In fact, this is the only all Super League tie. But one of the Super League side in action today, St Helens, have beaten Sheffield by 52 points to 26 earlier today, by the way. Sheffield won it in '98 with a man alongside me very much in charge of that team, of course, but it's a very different Sheffield these days. High kick taken by Hall.
Yeah, it's a good take that from Ryan Hall.
Tanya's on the touchline. Tanya.
Dave, I've got Ben Jones-Bishop with me, yet another injured Leeds player. It's going to be a test of character, this, isn't it, for your side?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're down to one sub now, and we've still got a good 20 minutes to go. So, you know, down to two early on, obviously made us change a bit, and two pivotal players out injured. So, the boys are hanging on in there at the minute. I reckon if we could, you know, just keep hold of the ball, play our sets, I think we'll be all right.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
McShane milking it, knew that Thomas was offside, not square, ran straight at him and gave the referee no option but to give the penalty.
No, clever there from McShane. Marcus not square. And you can see there, they stood side by side instead of one in front of the other, in line with the ruck. And McShane went at Thomas and virtually it made him tackle him, and that made Steve Ganson have to give the penalty.
Here's Pitts. Well, they are controlling this now, Leeds, aren't they, just at the moment? Burrow. Luluai, quick hands away. Burgess just grabbed a hold of. Sinfield. Here's Smith. Came from deep, shrugging off the attention of Mellors. Winterstein hung on until reinforcements arrived.
Hold.
Here's Badeiras. Delaney. Couple of tackles in this set still to come. Leeds reasonably well placed here. Burrow, the dynamo. Sinfield, the pass. Hall. Well, good defending on that far side in the end from Stuart Reed.
Yeah, did a great job reading there because he's a very big
they're
man.
going down our blind side. Has Ablett got it in here?
See if he's short or there's a second effort towards the line. OK, let's go to the screen.
Well, he did a marvellous job, did Stuart Reardon, tackling Carl Hall. As he's a big man, he holds the chalk well, but then he played the ball very quickly. And it's whether the grounding from Ablett is legal.
Well, we're having a look at this.
Play the ball's A-OK. Ablett's low, driving for the line. And he's driven at...
Stop.
Oh, that's a double movement for me.
Yeah. He was
short initially, and then he's just pushed the ball over the line. So Reardon did a really good job, first of all on Hall, and secondly on Carl Ablett. That's no try.
There was a similar try given very recently And I'm trying to think what the game was, but a similar try in similar circumstances.
That's no try.
But there's a lift of the arm there, isn't there? There's a clear lift of the arm.
A definite second movement there. The ball is grounded short and it's then pushed forward in a second movement. That's no try.
Here's the decision. Carl Ablett thinks he might have scored, but I think at the back of his mind he knows that he's moved twice. And Ian Smith, the video referee, delivers the decision of no try. Should be a penalty. It is. Penalty for the Crusaders.
Double movement.
So a key moment, big moment,
Double
potentially,
movement.
because it means that Crusaders are still very much in this.
It doesn't. That's down to Stuart Reardon. Because that was a big tackle, first of all, to stop Carl Hall. Then he had great presence of mind there to realise that Ablett was trying to steal a soft try from dummy half. And he managed to prevent him. Great work.
Jared Sammet is about to come back on the field, by the way, to give the Crusaders a little more zip and dart from around the dummy half position. In by O'Hara.
Hold.
Looking for a bit of width here, not the pass that was intended. It eventually is worked out to Keir.
Surrender. Stand 3.
Shivkovsky, an umbrella of defenders waiting for him, tempting him into that little pocket and then closing in and putting him down. Witt.
5.
Last tackle is the next, so Crusaders looking for something here. Hanbury's whipped round the blind side and then kicks against the grain. Lee Smith backpedaling, bounces away, tap back on the 20. Not a bad result in the end from a kick like that.
No, but when you're playing as well with 12 men, you want the ball out of play a little, but the Crusaders are going to have to chance their arm because it's the Challenge Cup, and in the Challenge Cup, you lose, you're out. So basically, you may as well lose by 50 as lose by 10. So they need to just chance their arm and have a dig.
Iestyn Harris, captaining the Leeds side that won it in '99, the last time Leeds won the Challenge Cup. The last one at the old Wembley. Now looking to plot the downfall of his old team.
Third. Move.
Medeiros. Jay Fitz.
4. Move. Hold.
Leeds moving ominously back inside their opponent's half here. It'll mean that they have a kick on the 5th tackle.
You've got to be impressed by Leeds, how they've managed the troops, though, because they've had McShane running dummy half for a period, and now he's come towards an edge and Medeiros is running dummy half. It's been very clever how they've shifted their 14 fit players around.
Sinfield puts it high. It's a very good take, though, by Shivkovsky.
1. Move. Hold. Go.
Here's Keir.
Surrender. Stand. 2. Hold.
And you can get in touch with us. Don't forget, we'll be having a big discussion after this game is finished. Email us rugbyleague@bbc.co.uk or Twitter,
3.
hashtag BBC Rugby League.
4. Move.
Shivkovsky. Thomas, as a coach, would you be concerned at the number of times Shivkovsky carries the ball in his one hand?
I think Shivkovsky is a very, very good attacking player, and I think he's got the skills to be able to deal with that.
Cheeky little chip over the top. That's nice stuff. McShane's not there. Hanbury kicks it on, and there's a chase here. Witt picked up. Oh, spilled, and now it's knocked on and kicked away.
Knock on.
Jared Sammet was the first knock on. So it will be Leeds head and feet.
Yeah, well, that's what we meant by chancing the arm, Dave. They went for the little chip kick over the top. Great regather. Well, it was Witt that hacked the ball on. Then there's a regather from Sammet, and he looks all over the scorer. But Medeiros it was who tracked back with an excellent scramble tackle.
Jared Sammet in here to make the tackle again. The man with the scrum cap on. He's a real character, isn't he, when he comes onto the field?
Bit of a maverick, Dave, isn't he?
He's got a tattoo on his chest, right across his chest, and it reads, "Justify your existence," right across his chest. And you know what? Spelt wrong. The tattoo artist got the wrong spelling. Put an A where there should have been an E.
It's correct.
And you can't do anything about it, can you? Let that be a lesson to your kids.
0.
Good piece of play there from Mellors, forcing the error on Rob Burrow. And again, it's turned the ball over in midfield, so it gives the Crusaders another chance. They're pretty well, aren't they, to say they've got 12 men?
2, move! Hold.
There's still time here, 12 minutes left to play.
Yeah, they're looking after the ball, the Crusaders. Completion. Especially as the game has worn on, they've gone down to 12 men. They really have focused on looking after the football.
And they have a penalty here.
Yeah, repeat set here.
Jamie Peacock just getting a telling off. They wanted to take the quick tap. The referee says you wait till you hear my whistle. So Witt with a tap. In by Peter Lupton.
It's intriguing, isn't it, Dave, this situation? You've got the 12-men Crusaders. Can they sneak a win? And you've got the 13-men Leeds Rhinos who've only got one fit player on the bench and who are obviously fatigued because of the injuries that they've had that's restricted their use of substitutions.
Here's Samet, freshest pair of legs on the field, you'd imagine at the moment. Witt, little dummy, where's the support? There it is! Lupton's in! Lupton's in, and the game is on!
Well, that came from the penalty from Peacock, which gave them the repeat set and the field position. And my word, have they taken advantage of it?
Yeah.
There's a penalty. Peacock with a forearm in the shoulder there on, it was Ben Flower. Then from that field position, good play from Witt, shows the ball on the inside. Dummies, gets his arm free to offload through the defensive line, and Lupton pushing up in support for a very good try. And we really have got a game on.
Well, they're going to take it as quickly as they can. Shivkovsky puts it over. What a game, what a finish we have now. Peter Lupton, the try scorer.
Well, it's super work, is it, from Michael Lee? Shows the ball on the inside, dummies to the outside, straightens up, arms are now free. Lupton's worked really hard to support, and that's a great finish. And we've got a great finish to the 80-minute game.
4 points in it. Leeds 24, Crusaders 20. A try and a goal would win it for Crusaders. A try and a missed conversion would take us to golden point. And Robbie Hunter, has a few points. And he might just have something to say about Jared Samet, having lost that ball. Oh dear.
Yeah,
oh
you need to pick, after you've got yourselves back in the game, you need to be tidy on your kick-off reception. And unfortunately, Samet wasn't. And it's gifted Leeds an opportunity to put the game to bed.
So, Robbie, what are you saying?
What I was going to say just before that was Leeds needed to slow this game down. Every opportunity they got was to try and kick the ball over the out ball line. But now that they're in a point-scoring position, I think they should go for the try instead.
Here's Delaney.
Move! Hold!
Lee Smith is the man at dummy half here. Senior running it back to the centre. Big hit from Moore. He's put the shoulder in. McShane. Peacock. Burrow, look at the, well, I was going to say the overlap on the left, but they've come it back to the middle now. But McShane takes it left again. Good tackle by Gareth Thomas. Got his man and driven him to the ground. This is Burrow. In by Burgess. 2 tackles to come here. Crusaders survive these 2 tackles. There's a chance, but there's the score. The man who does that as well as anyone, Danny Baderas, just got a sniff. The faintest whiff of the try line, and over he goes.
Well, he's put a great shift in, not the mascot, but Danny Baderas, who made the try-saving tackle on Samet earlier. And then what's happened after Samet's error from the kick-off, Baderas has taken full advantage. There's the kick-off. It's a difficult one because it is spiralling. But Samet made a real hash of that. You need to take those from that position. It shows one way and just burrows in by the side of the ruck. A soft try there, but that's what you get when you're a man down. The spaces are that bit wider, and it's real difficult to defend your own line. And Baderas showed great determination to brush Flower aside, and I think he's won Leeds the game now. I cannot see Crusaders scoring twice.
Kevin Sinfield taking his time as he always does with these kicks. Take his time here. 4 grand finals, never won a Challenge Cup, Kevin Sinfield. Desperate to change that. Maybe this is the year. They're certainly looking good for a place in the 5th round, because that's 30 points now for Leeds, 20 for the Crusaders. Gianni Banderas, with his instincts, might just have taken them through.
That's an Australian test player there, read the situation well. He knew they needed that 4 points. He was very determined in order to get that. A bit of a soft try technically, but really they're the type of tries that you need if you're going to win Challenge Cups. Short kick-off, Dave.
They're going short. Delaney, senior's taken it, went backwards off Delaney.
One! Move! Hold!
There's a lot of time being spent there. Sinfield. Here's Kirk. Moore came with a tackle, knocked on by Burrow. Suddenly there's a position being offered Crusaders' way here.
Go.
Samet, driven in by Mark Bryant.
One! Move!
Little Maltese international Samet again from dummy half. Hanbury looking to step, but stepping too big, and over he goes.
2!
Witt. Shivkovsky. Ablett came, didn't keep a hold. There are 2 more there though. And Shivkovsky goes down.
Good play the ball.
Quick dart by him, straight into the shoulder of Kirk. A couple of tackles here, still to go. They'll feel they have to score in this set. Witt thought about the kick, thought about the pass, picks it up, throws it back. Did that come off a Leeds hand? Yes, it did. It's another 6. Shivkovsky. It's a mind explosion. Why did he do that? They had another 6 tackles. Well, and he mustn't have heard the call.
No, a man of his experience should have expected him to show great composure. But he can't have heard the fact that it was back to 1 and chanced his arm with the kick through. And I'm sure the Rhinos will just regroup and try and look after the ball for this set and either kick it out of bounds or just kick it well downfield.
And they'll look at 3 rash moments in this game, won't they? 3 rash moments. The sending off of Cahill, the drop by Samet, and then that one there as well, as moments where this might have changed around.
Yeah, they're crucial game changers, and there's I think a bit of fatigue there from Paul McShane. He's been out on the field for a long time, as Banderas has, and he's caught with the header in midfield. And Leeds really would have wanted to look after the ball till the end of that set, but
okay, where's second row?
It's allowed the Crusaders a chance, and they've got to score this set, Dave, to have any opportunity whatsoever.
No!
Now they're blowing the hunting horn in the background.
One!
They feel the chase is on and has been won here by Leeds. McShane came, and he always knew he was going to get hurt there, because Bryant was coming tumbling towards him, and McShane's gone down and stayed down. Witt, here's Thomas. Good drive again.
Third! Move! Go, Matt.
Well, it's building.
Down this blind side. 2 tackles to go. 4 minutes to go.
Vital 2 tackles as well, Dave, for the Crusaders.
Shivkovsky in one hand, Lupton. Hanbury, here's Mellors. No way through a Leeds defence that had it covered. Left, right and centre. Keir. Hanbury. Kick, Smith takes it well
Tremendous. That's a great catch, isn't it, under pressure from Lee Smith. And I think that has nailed the game. Beautiful catch there. Asked questions there about the contest, but Smith answered it with interest. And
well, Lee Smith has gone down injured, and I think Michael Witt was feeling he was play acting here, and he tried to pick him up, and the referee said you can't do that. He does look as though he might. I think a bit of cramp here from Lee Smith.
Yeah.
Look at that. He just tried to pick him up, Michael Witt, to get him on with it, and the referee said no, penalty. And by the way, aren't you in charge of picking the man of the match today?
Yes, well, I think there's been many outstanding performances on both sides. But the man I've picked for the Carnegie man of the match in this Challenge Cup tie is the Leeds Rhinos scrum half, Rob Burrow, who I think has been instrumental in just securing Leeds the victory. He put his hand up when his side were facing adversity, came up with some massive plays. He's kicked well, he's defended well, he's had a top game.
Here's Peacock. It's been a really good cup tie here today, and Headingley really has. The hint of an upset in the air, but in the end it looks as though the side who started as favourites are the team that's going through.
Clever play that from Sinfield. Just winding the clock down, putting it out of bounds, walking to the scrum, eating the seconds up. Real clever. Both him and Burrow have stood up to the task. Superb kick to the corner. Let's eat those seconds up, and let's make sure we get through to the next round.
One more. Okay. Out.
So many great stories, so many little cameos throughout the 80 minutes, hasn't it? The start by Crusaders, the recovery by Leeds, despite their seemingly devastating injuries to two of their star players. The mistakes, the moments of brilliance. And in the end, it's Leeds who are going to get through. It would seem. There is still just a little bit of time left, but in 90 seconds, it's impossible to imagine that Crusaders are going to score twice from here.
And I think it's been the Cahill brain explosion, really, that nailed the Crusaders' coffin down.
Well, they're going to go down fighting because they are looking here for another chance. Keir down this left-hand side. Cleverly kicks it away when he knew he was going out of play. But Senior back there to take it, and enough support for Leeds to play themselves out of trouble. And you never know. Hawley's tackle.
Yeah, good play from the wingman. Once again, he realised he was being taken down by Lee Smith. Just took the little kick in forward. It's been a great contest. Great credit to both sets of players. Cracking cup tie to open this season's competition.
Well done.
So on a day when it looks as though Leeds United are going to fail in their attempts to get in the playoffs, and Leeds Rugby Union side, Leeds Carnegie, look as though they're going to get relegated. There is some success for one Leeds team. The city has a reason to smile. Leeds Rhinos. And their coach Brian McDermott a step closer to Wembley Stadium. A big kick that drifts out of play. Nobody will mind about that because it's just about the last play of the game.
Last couple of tackles now.
That was obstruction. Quite clearly, Shivkovsky. A little chip and a chase, and Kirk just used his big hulking frame to get in the way of it. And the clock is stopped on 79 minutes and 59 seconds.
Last play.
It'll be a kick to touch, and then we'll have one more play. Here's a kick to touch. The hooter sounds. Oh, he's not made it, has he? Has he? No, it has just gone. The hooter sounds. So there will be time for the tap here.
What's he going to do, Dave? Is he going to put it up in the air for a Hay Lads Hay contest?
Well, Leeds have won it. It's simply a question of by how many. Hanbury kicks it back. Senior takes it. Steps out of play. That is it. Well done to Leeds. Crusaders gave them a real scare. There were moments throughout the game when Leeds knew they were in a real contest, but in the end their pedigree has shone through, and they're in the hat for the 5th round draw. Leeds have won here by 30 points to 20.
And Crusaders will be ruining their missed opportunities there because they had them. They definitely had chances. Lots of reaction on Twitter. Peter Carter says, don't really watch rugby league, but this game is fantastic. End-to-end stuff, and it was indeed 9 tries in total. 4 of them in the second half there, 2 apiece. A sending off as well. All sorts of things happening, and let's find out the reaction of Brian McDermott, the coach of Leeds. He comes away still surviving in the Carnegie Challenge Cup. He's with Tanya now.
Ryan, congratulations. How big a test of character, as much as anything, was that for your side?
Yeah, it was it? You know, I think we had 2 very influential people go down earlier than Clarkey. did his ankle really early then, and you know, for the whole of the second half, or the vast majority of that second half, we just had one rotation, which was a problem, you know, which limits to what you can do there. So we had quite a few blokes playing out of position, and then we came up against a very, very tenacious Crusaders team that history says they can turn anybody over. So Challenge Cup games, it was one of those days where I don't think today was ever going to go smooth. I just knew it would have been like this. Probably didn't expect the injuries and the bigger test as we had, but credit to Crusaders, they give us that. But really proud of the players. We're in the next round, and you know, we can move on.
In some ways, did the sending up almost level it up for you?
The what, sorry?
The sending off of Hep Cahill for them, did it level things out almost?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Looked like a bit on the nines, that you get frustrated and kick out with your leg. I thought it was ridiculous.
You march forward, but at some cost. You are a few men down, aren't you, now going into next week?
Yeah, we was all getting excited because we had some blokes who were coming back from injury, but then we just seemed to top that injury list up again. We'll just see how they are, and hopefully they'll be a matter of weeks. Hopefully, if the physios and the medical people are saying weeks to me, I'm happy. When they start saying months, it gets a bit scary.
Brian, congratulations. Let's bring in your man of the match. It is Rob Burrow. Rob, how tough was that out there?
Very tough. Obviously, Crusaders are a side that never give in right to the last minute, and they showed there. They went a man down, but you know, they lifted it and they made it really, really hard work for us out there.
And how tough with the chopping and changing of positions? I mean, that must be barely know where anyone was playing.
Yeah, it was. You know, you come into the game with a game plan, and a few disruptions like that makes it tough. But thankfully, the lads that filtered in there did a great job.
And a huge test of character for your side.
It is, yeah. You know, you've got to see what sort of side you are when you put in the circumstances like that. And you know, we just did enough today.
Congratulations, you're the Carnegie man of the match. Let's bring in Danny Budos. You've got the heck of a cut on your face there. That was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, first of all, apologise to everyone for the side. Yeah, it was tough. Intensity went out of the game a bit when we were down only one reserve, and they're the games you learn from, and they're gritty, and you look back on those games and learn a few lessons.
Just give us an idea of quite how tired you are.
Yeah, well, everyone was playing out of position, so we looked a bit scrappy at time, which is understandable. So, yeah, we've had a good probably 6 weeks now, so we're looking forward to kicking on the Super League.
I mean, it's going to be quite tricky picking a team, isn't it? You could be playing a full 80 minutes for a few weeks yet.
Yeah, that's right. We were sitting pretty rosy there as of yesterday. We only had sort of 3 or 4 that were sitting on the bench injured, but now we've got probably half a dozen. So that's football, and every team goes through it.
Given the disappointment of losing that final last season, how big is it for you to try and go well again in this competition?
Yeah, it's a long road. We had a tough run last year, and we'd love to have that day over again. I think we did things that we probably weren't used to, and that showed in our performance. So if we ever got there to have another crack, we'd learn from our experience.
Congratulations, and good luck with the injury.
Thank you. Sorry.
I love the fact that he's apologising for how he looks. But Danny Budos, though, who scored the final try of this match, and what those statistics don't tell you is that Leeds really did tough it out there. It was an extraordinary performance, given that Crusaders had plenty of opportunities, not just to level it, but to go in front. And you can see how close most of the figures were there. But 10 points is the only figure that really matters, because that is the difference between them, and that is the losing side. And there will be an awful lot of disappointed people in there. And you know them well, Brian, and you know that it's going to be